Let me start with a question that most people do not talk about openly. How often do you relieve yourself? And I'm not talking about going to the bathroom to pee. I am talking about the other kind of release that happens during sexual activity or when you're by yourself. Some people feel awkward discussing it, especially as they get older. But what if I told you that something so natural might actually be doing something good for your prostate? That's right. This is not just about pleasure or habit. This could be about your health. Your prostate, to be specific. What happens when older men relieve themselves daily? What does it do to the body? And why are doctors and researchers now paying more attention to this simple act? Stick with me because what you will learn here might just shock you. So if you are ready, let's get started. Before we can talk about what daily release does to the prostate, we have to understand what the prostate actually is. The prostate is a small gland found only in men. It is located just below the bladder and in front of the rectum. It wraps around the urethra, which is the tube that carries both urine and semen out of the body. You cannot see or feel your prostate unless there is a problem with it, but it plays an important role in your health. The main job of the prostate is to help produce fluid that mixes with sperm. This fluid protects the sperm and helps it move. That is a basic part of reproduction. But there is more to it. As men grow older, the prostate tends to grow larger. This is normal and happens to almost all men, especially those over 50. The problem is that as it gets bigger, it can start pressing against the urethra. This can make it hard to urinate. You might feel like you need to go all the time. Or you might notice a weak stream, leaking, or pain. This condition is called benign prostatic hyperplasia. It is not cancer, but it can be uncomfortable and frustrating. And here is where daily relief comes in. It might play a part in keeping the prostate from becoming too clogged or irritated. Let's look at how that happens. When a man reaches climax, a lot happens in the body at once. Muscles in the pelvic area begin to tighten and contract in a rhythmic way. Blood flow increases. Hormones shift. And one of the most important parts of this process is that the prostate also squeezes out fluid that it has been holding. This squeezing is not random. It is part of a natural cycle. The prostate stores and releases fluid. If that fluid is not released over time, it just sits there. It can become thick. It can hold dead cells. And some researchers believe that letting this fluid sit too long could increase the chance of irritation or even abnormal cell changes. So when a man relieves himself, he is not just feeling good. He is also putting the prostate to work in a healthy way. It is like running a machine that works better when it stays in motion rather than collecting dust. Keeping that fluid moving may be one reason why daily release might be linked to better prostate health. Now here is where things get really interesting. Over the past several years, researchers have been studying how often men relieve themselves and whether it affects their health. One large study followed thousands of men over many years. It looked at how often these men had sexual release, whether alone or with a partner, and how that related to their risk of prostate cancer. The results were surprising. Men who had more frequent releases, especially around 20 times per month, had a lower risk of developing prostate cancer compared to those who only did it a few times each month. Now this does not mean that it prevents cancer completely, but it does suggest there may be a connection. The idea is that releasing more often helps clear the prostate of old fluid. That may help remove substances that could become harmful over time. It might also reduce pressure inside the gland, ease inflammation, and help the prostate stay in a better balance. Another benefit is that regular release may lower stress levels. Men often carry stress in their bodies without realizing it. This tension can affect sleep, mood, and even hormone levels. The act of release helps some men sleep better and feel more relaxed, which is important for overall health. And for those dealing with mild prostate swelling, daily release might even help reduce discomfort. It may make it easier to empty the bladder. It may reduce the feeling of fullness or pressure in the lower belly. All of these are things that improve quality of life. There are still a lot of myths around this topic. Some people say that doing it too often will drain your energy. Others think it will lower your testosterone or cause problems with your strength. And there are even those who say that men should avoid it altogether after a certain age. But none of these ideas are backed by solid science. In fact, most medical experts agree that there is no harm in daily release as long as it does not interfere with your life or your relationships. If it brings relief, helps you sleep, and supports your mood, that is a sign that your body responds well to it. The problem is not in the act itself. The real problem is shame and guilt. Too many men grow up being told that this is something dirty or harmful. But the truth is, it is a natural function of the body. And in many cases, it may even be helpful. It is important to separate the facts from the false stories. Because when you understand what your body is doing and why, you can make better choices about your health. Even though daily relief can help support prostate health, it is not a cure for every problem. If you are feeling pain when you urinate or when you release, you should talk to your doctor. If you see blood in your urine or semen, that needs to be checked. And if you find that you are waking up several times a night to pee, or you feel pressure or aching in your lower back, those are also signs to take seriously. There are many prostate conditions that need medical attention. These include infections, blockages, and even prostate cancer. Early detection is important, so do not wait too long if something feels off. Doctors can run simple tests to check your prostate health, and the earlier you find a problem, the easier it usually is to treat. Daily relief can be one piece of your self-care routine, but it should not be the only thing you rely on. Think of it as part of a bigger picture that includes regular checkups, a healthy diet, and movement. The idea that something as simple as daily release could help your prostate might sound strange at first. But when you look at the science, it starts to make sense. This is about more than just feeling good. It is about letting your body do what it was built to do. Taking care of your prostate is not just about avoiding illness. It is about living with comfort, confidence, and better sleep. So if daily relief fits your life and makes you feel better, you are not doing anything wrong. In fact, you may be doing something very right. But remember this: the real benefit comes from paying attention to your body, listening to the small signals, staying in touch with what feels normal and what does not. If this video has helped you, please hit that like button and share it with someone who could use it too. And of course, subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.